Happy Mother's Day, guys. If you're on your way to the club and you're going to buy a bottle, but you're not going to buy your mom a Happy Mother's Day gift, something is wrong, fam. Something is extremely wrong with you. When I was a kid, I just kind of gravitated towards the radio, like going to school, listening to music, listening to like different jocks, Spanish, English. So it's kind of like the first love that I had. Then from there, I wanted to do other things, but radio was the first. When I finally had the courage to follow what I wanted to do, I just went back to my first love. Big Boy inspired me. Big Boy, who was the morning jock at Power 106. He was the first one. He was a big dude. I was a big kid. It was easy to see through the billboard. I would take his jokes and use them at recess, and it would work. So then I would just start taking every joke he had from that morning, using it during the school day, and I was like the most funny kid in school because of that. And I also gravitated towards like Biggie Smalls, who was alive at the time, Notorious B.I.G. So it was kind of like, they're big, I'm big, and they're like cool big. They're not sloppy and no one likes them, everyone loves them. I didn't know what a radio jock was, you know, so I kind of like, oh, he's a jock. That's a job. I can get paid for that. And so when everyone was like, do you want to be a doctor, lawyer? I was like, don't do radio. And nowadays, Jay Cruz, Charlamagne the God, Angie Martinez inspired me. Of course, you gotta say Ryan Seacrest, right? Because, I mean, he's rich with great hair. And that's inspirational. I was able to do this thing called a takeover, where listeners would sign up, and if your name got picked, you would host the radio show for an hour. And the station was Latino 96.3, which they played reggaeton music, and I'm Latino, but I don't listen to reggaeton, so I was like, damn, I'll go, whatever. So I went with 2 other people, and I guess I stood out, right? Like, it was great. And we did like live breaks. You know, you're not supposed to do live breaks when you have no experience. They brought me back, and it was like I was at a crossroads because they brought me back and they offered me a promo job, which is like entry level. It wasn't the kind of job you just leave and drop everything for, you know? Like, people rarely do that at a radio station. But I felt like it was a calling. Like, I was like, this is it, bro. Like, this is it. I could do both, full-time and a part-time, but I just felt like it was right. So I walked out of class one day after a test, and I just never went back. I'm ready to go. You ready to go? What up, LA? It's Teddy Moore.
Inferno. I just jumped on these 2 turntables right now.
As you can see, he's excited because he's just hopped on the 2 turntables. I'm excited because we got Hennessy, Walls, and we might have a little Hennessy left over too. I don't know. Inferno, tell them what we got going on though, man. Let them know.
We got some tickets to see Logic and G-Eazy.
So if you want to win those tickets to the Power 106 right now, if you want to hear something, hit them up at Inferno.
@_Inferno.
Cool. You ready for the real video now? So I had to stop working the radio job. It wasn't paying well. If everyone knows anything about radios, when you first start off, entry level position in any job really, they don't pay well. So I had to get a real job. So I went back to the taxes full time, and I dropped the radio job. My father was sick. My sister had a child. Unfortunately, things didn't work out with her husband. Boom, she's a single mom. My mom is she's a surviving cancer patient. She's on dialysis right now. She's constantly going through things, right? So I gotta, like take care of her. My grandmother, she's getting up there in age as well. So we got, the 4 of them, and it makes me 5. And then I got a drunk uncle,
When you wake up before you brush your teeth, you grab your scrap, nigga. All the time you get down on your knees, you don't crowd, nigga. Boy, what you heard, God blessing all the trout, niggas.
Everyone got a drunk uncle.
God blessing all the trout, niggas. When you wake up before you brush.
And he's there, and he don't pay nothing, and but it's cool though, cause it's kind of like it happened because it had to happen, and we went from a traditional household to the household that's right for me and us, and so that's why it's a big family, and it's cool. Like, I wouldn't have it any other way. I feel like this is the path and that God wanted me to go in, and this is the path that was meant for me. So I'm happy. My dad passed away. After he passed, I just thought like I couldn't abandon my dream. I mean, he had a great life and he was amazing, but I know he let circumstances get in the way, And so I was like, that's not gonna be me. So I went back to school, got an internship, and I thought, why not the job that I love the most, that I always wanted, which was Power 106. So I started interning here. First day they saw something in me. Like that next day I'm on Big Boy's Neighborhood and trying to go against like veteran jocks for a job. It didn't turn out my way, but I kept interning. They let me on for a little bit. Then I got hired, entry level position. Same thing, promotion, I took it. Got on the radio. Didn't work out. Continued the hustle grind. Got on air somewhere else, and finally got on air again, and I kept it. I've been on ever since. Like a classroom, EMA Power 106, where Power lives. Teddy Moore, my dog Ingwell on these turntables. My mother kind of like gave me that support. You know how crazy it is to tell your mother, I'm gonna quit and I'm gonna go intern. Hispanic mom is like, for free? Gratis? Ta loco? You know what I mean? Like, what? She supported, she helped me out in that. She gave me the support I needed to go ahead. And we're gonna struggle for a little bit. But we're gonna have to tighten our belts, man. And sometimes lights gonna get cut off. Sometimes we don't have hot water. But if you're doing this because you know you're gonna do it and it's gonna benefit you, and you know, and they know that I'll never do anything that's not gonna benefit them in the long run. There was times that, you know, the check comes in, your direct deposit, and you ain't touching nothing because it's already gone. You know, and then you work in radio, so perception is everything. You're supposed to be the cool guy with the good, the fancy clothes and the good car and going to the best places, but you can't afford it because that money's going to diapers and stuff like that. Now, God bless, bro, I'm in a great position, and that's only because, like, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have made it this far. I would have gave up. So now I love to do it. I can do it. I'm happy, and I feel like I made them proud because they're like, yo. We went through like hell, dude. Went through everything. We were broke, and now, you know, we're not rich, but it's not bad. Times are a lot better. We can drink a lot more beer and provide and pay for bills, or don't drink beer. I don't know. Whatever you do. I mean, if you're not 21, don't drink. We say just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. If you want to go check out, you know, Finding Dory, and then after that, head over to Disneyland or California Adventures. Real simple. All right. All weekend we got your tickets. All weekend long we got your tickets. All you gotta do is be caller 106 when we ask you to. Caller 106, you're going to go check out Finding Dory, and you got tickets to Disneyland or California Adventure. Kind of coming up in a little bit, but this is brand new music. This is Young Greatness, Moolah, only on Power 106. PJ, Teddy, hey. Let's get that moolah, 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 hey. I'm lucky because I guess this was where I always wanted to be at. It just took me a lot longer to get here. What up, LA? Teddy Moore.
Inferno, I'm out. There we go.
You gotta be patient. I think it's one of the few things that people do forget. Like, they get so hyped up working in radio. You know, I want to be around music and I want to do all these things. They forget to be patient, man. Because life is so fast paced, and because music is so fast paced, like things are changing, things are moving, and they think that their career needs to be the same way. Be fearless. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to admit you don't know something and learn it. I think that everyone, if you want to do radio, you definitely should start off, you should do a little bit of everything. Intern. You know, intern. I think you should definitely intern. Don't be ashamed to take a promotions position. Almost every great radio personality has started in promotions. You know, and you learn because you learn the business, and you learn how there's other things beside what's on air. You know, the beginning is not as great, it's not as lucrative as people think. You will have people chirping at you and telling you to move on. You know, why don't you go get a real job, or why don't you go back to school? And it's like, hey man, you need to block all that off. You know, you need to block out, believe in yourself more than anybody else, and it'll happen. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take time, but if you believe in yourself, you work hard, you ask the right questions, and you're not afraid. You gotta be fearless. It'll happen. It takes time, but it will happen. And I believe that because I've seen so many people that have stuck it out. So many people that were on the verge of quitting, the verge of saying, you know what, this isn't for me. Move on with their careers to where they wanted it to be. And it's a beautiful situation. The radio world is so small that when someone wins, we all celebrate it. And we all hear about it. Just keep working, keep going. You know, and it'll happen. I know it will happen. What up, LA? It's Teddy Moore.
Inferno, I'm live behind these two turntables right now with my brother.
Yeah, so if you want to hear something, you little bitch, let him know. He's going to play it for you. All right? If you want to win tickets to G-Eazy and Logic, we got those too. You feel what I'm saying? Might be a little drunk. It's the Hennessy walls, bro. That's what it is.
They're getting you drunk?
Power.
Are we going to use one of these?
I might keep that.